Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium and today I'm playing SC2 VN. It's a game about being a esports gamer in the game StarCraft 2. I originally saw the Kickstarter for this about 2 years ago, and it said the game was going to come out in 3 to 6 months. 2 years later, here we are. It's only just come out. So there's a lesson in there somewhere for new game developers. There is an extras thing. I presume it's just CG's Esports with Day 9. Ah yes, so if you're not au fait with terms in esports, Day 9, who's quite a big sort of YouTuber streamer himself, will explain it to you, and it's actually him. Luckily, if we get to them and you don't know what they mean, we'll explain them for you. And a sort of weird thing. Also, normally, tick speed all the way up here. However, apparently some game mechanics don't work if you have it all the way up. So we're having it at like half speed. So, let's get cracking. SC2 VN is a visual novel about StarCraft in South Korea and the people who play it. If you are new to esports, we're not. It's fine. We don't. I'll watch it later. We don't need to know about it. In SC2 VN, you select the gender of the main character, Mac. The choice will mostly impact how he or she appears. The story differences are minor. Now select the main character. Okay, so something someone pointed out, I think like 2 series ago, is that for whatever reason, I always go for the female character, just because for whatever reason, the boy sort of only ever has one personality trait, right? Their parents aren't too happy with them, blah blah. And they're somewhat sport and they have to sort of turn it around and learn new ways, you know, always the case. So I go for the female because there are several personalities they can have. Why are there shadows when I hover over them? That's a very odd thing. So because of this, I always do choose women. I wanted to choose a man, but then I was like, well, how many females are there really in esports? Like fucking none. So we're going to be representing the womanhood, and then for the next series we'll pick a guy, I guess. Begin the story's female main character. Yes. I presume that's supposed to be South Korea. And that is just a camera, and we're not actually like in a helicopter floating there. There's a certain feeling that every StarCraft player gets before they lose. Most try to ignore it at first as if the inevitable is just another challenge to fight through. Like their past mistakes don't count if they just try a little bit harder. Ah, we've all been there. It's a natural thing to believe, otherwise contradicts the hours we spend practicing. Still, every player must eventually come to terms with a defeat. That they have to queue up for another game, or maybe that they flew across the world for nothing. It's a bit odd. That's an odd thing to say. I haven't met many players that can take a loss in stride. It's painful, it's permanent, it's proof that your best isn't always enough. We have no eyes. That's probably why we're losing this game. Long after my elimination, I remain at the PC with a blank look in my eye. Click shoot from my finger as I leap from page to page. A tournament update mentions my defeat in passing, but no one acknowledges it. Listen to that. Someone is seriously going at it in keyboard in the background. Someone is hammering the keys. God, that APM must be incredible. Abilities per minute. When my frustration fades, I'm left only with guilt. I should have practiced harder. If you can disappear, all you have to do, if you can go invisible, all you have to do is go over to your opponent, tickle him, maybe do some other stuff, and then come back and win. Easy. Probably not viable. We get caught out eventually. I should have practiced harder. VSL qualifier here. Is that a do on ESL? I don't actually know what ESL stands for. I just know it's a big tournament. I consider sticking around to watch the final few games, but the knot in my stomach persuades me to avoid any more stress. People are nice enough to a foreigner with the heart to attempt a Star League qualifier. Okay, so foreigner. Let's just explain that in esports is not what you think it means. It basically means anyone who isn't a Korean. Anyone. And if you're in Korea and you're not very good, you're still a foreigner. That's have we got that? So anyone who's not South Korean. Awesome. But without a win, I'm just one more in a long line of losers. A female gamer trying to break into the South Korean scene. I don't think this has ever been done, like maybe once with Scarlet. Hundreds spend their best years chasing the esports dream. 1 in 50 makes it. This is for those that don't. Every game of StarCraft begins the same. Gather resources, train a worker. I mean, come on, have you ever played a strategy game before? Like Age of Empires, Warcraft 3 even? It's exactly like that. Train a worker, construct a building, rally an army, defend a base, contest the map, turn something small into something more. The game is punishing, it's stressful, it's draining, it builds you up and tears you down. It's not for everyone, it might not even be for me. How many more chances am I going to get? Was that my last? Huh, the feeling is back. Why am I still trying? Why can't I quit? My fist rattles the desk and sends a plastic bottle onto the floor. With my chin in hand, I throw myself into the match replay. Open the menu, ESC or right click to check the glossary. What's in the glossary? Oh, ladder. Okay, ladder. I can explain that. So, there are different leagues in StarCraft, and it's just a matchmaking system. You can queue up into a ranked game and then climb up the ladder. Come on. You must know what I'm talking about. I forced down a measured breath. Losing a throwaway ladder game shouldn't bother a player of my rank. Scout denial and my poor control if the final fight gave my opponent the edge. In retrospect, my mistakes seem obvious. Scout denial is when you go and try and see what they're building, but they kill you before you manage to actually see what they're doing. There you are. I toy with the conclusion that he was hacking before I realised that I'm just making excuses. No, I should have been able to win that one. Yeah, that's normally what sore losers say. Oh, he was deadly hacking! No, he wasn't. Despite the Grandmaster badge next to my handle, I find myself too anxious to queue up for another game. The loss of the Victory Star League qualifier earlier today. Oh, Victory Star League qualifier. Okay, so that's what VSL is. Qualifier earlier today isn't helping my mindset. I comb my tiny room with a look restless and unmotivated. Who the fuck is that? I'd like to think that I vaguely follow esports, but I don't know what that is. Also, this is night, isn't it? Look at this! This is like the brightest moonlight ever! That, or it's a very, very bright street light? It's hard to tell. Sitting alone in a dark room for extended periods of time is incredibly depressing, a fact I only learned when it became a significant part of my life. Only one thing is certain, I've got to get out of here. It's very, like, I'd say decent background. Basically, if I bought a game and it looked like this, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. Yeah, it is free, I hasten to add. After double-checking that my apartment's door is locked, I hustle down the stairs and the sidewalk. Light grows with each step towards the shining skyline. Catchy pop beats and posters, no, that's something completely different, and posters of flawless models dominate street after street. Foot traffic is thick and impatient. Seoul Tower stands tall from a distant hilltop. That... Alright, be honest, who put the huge cone on top? Jenkins, come here. But even the lingering excitement of life in a faraway place can't dredge me out of my hopelessness. Sometimes, especially on days like this, I regret pursuing esports. No, that is not the way to think about it. It's a thought I've had more times than I'd care to admit since coming to South Korea. It's hard for a foreigner. I wouldn't have tried it. Did we accidentally skip something? Sometimes, no. Even saying that, I know that I can't keep myself from competing. It's in my nature. And truth be told, this damn game is the only thing I'm good at. Have you tried Hearthstone? That's quite easy. That just requires knowledge. You don't even... I'm good at Hearthstone. That's how easy the game is. You'll be fine at that, mate. What is StarCraft? Some respond to that with an explanation on its game mechanics or its storyline. StarCraft storyline. There are other popular answers too, that it requires the dexterity of a pianist alongside the strategic thinking of a chess player. Maybe that's what StarCraft is to most people. But to the hundreds who carve out a living on it, StarCraft isn't such a simple thing. It's the embodiment of competition, a perfect playing field, no need for athletic genes, rabid parents, shooting tutors, different, doing their job, or expensive summer camps. You pick up the game on your own, you learn, you improve, you work. If you're good enough, you can become a god. If you fail, you stay a nobody. Hey, so you don't lose anything. Maybe moving to South Korea on a whim was a bit dumb. I mean, no real way of getting around with that, if I'm honest with you, Mac. But other than that, I'm not building towards a long-term career. I'm friendless in a foreign country, I'm respected by no one. And if I don't qualify for the VSL next month, I'll be back home at square one. I'll be nothing. But hey, at least I play video games all day. Yeah, it's not quite that. It does become a job after a while, I hasten to add. Are you completely sure you haven't forgotten anything? I mean, I believe that... What? Are you completely sure you haven't forgotten anything? Suitcase? Maybe? Like, those are the same clothes that we were wearing just now, weren't they? Did you only bring one set of clothes? Do you have enough money for the cab when you land? Are you sure that the apartment got your money? Is your cell phone charged? You brought an extra charger, right? Mum, I'm fine. Please, nothing bad is going to happen. What a bad lie. Remember, there won't be anyone to do your laundry, cook your meals, or wake you up when you oversleep. Budget well and you'll have 2 months. I won't hear anything about a loan for the flight home. What? It takes effort to keep a frown from my face. I'm certain that my parents came to see me off only so that they... only that they could say they did. Oh, for God's sake! I picked a girl so we didn't have disappointing parents who were sort of vaguely about us. God damn it. I've already sunk the entirety of my savings into this. Now isn't the time for second thoughts. My dad gestures towards the security line and taps his watch twice. Go on, the sooner this is over with, the better. Oh, come back in one piece, hon. Nothing comes when I think of how to respond, so only nod. Without another word, my parents walk away. Not even a cuddle, nothing. We've stayed in the same place, though. That's impressive. Where are the flights going to there? Hang on. Oh, Seoul. It was there. I was going to say, hang on. Did they forget to put Seoul on? She has to make her own mistakes. I hate that line of reasoning. Oh, well, everyone needs to learn to make their own mistakes. Do they? Like, to the point where they can go to another country and fuck up their lives by just not having any money and being stranded there. Yeah, sure, everyone needs it. He lied. I tighten my fist, pace quickening. Even though I want to prove everyone who's doubted me wrong, I'm tired of losing for no one's sake but my own. With the sun long set, overhead signs wash the streets in colour and white. What? Wash the streets in colour and white? Sure, so no other colour was worthy of mentioning other than white. I've wandered so far that a walk back to my apartment would take almost half an hour. My renewed drive to practice my craft drives my search for a place to play. It's not long before I see the words I'm looking for. PC Bang. Am I to assume that that is just an internet cafe? Yeah. A type of LAN gaming center where patrons can play multiplayer computer games for an hourly fee. Yeah, it's an internet cafe. The amount of foot traffic suggests it's a pretty popular internet cafe. Why call it a PC Bang if you're then just going to call it an internet cafe? Don't confuse us for the hell of it. A sign on the front window reads Golden Zone Fire. Though I've only visited them a few times, PC Bangs are one of the things that interested me most about Korea when I first got into StarCraft. Duking it out for champion status of a neighborhood cafe is old school cool, like the type of western where a sheriff defends his turf against upstarts and outlaws. It's an ideal that it's a little bit dated these days. Most StarCraft 2 competition takes place either online or in broadcast studios. I'll admit it, I've daydreamed of being born a decade earlier and playing the original esport Brood War during its rise alongside the PC Bang. So Brood War, again, for those who don't know, I'm going to have to keep explaining this, so it's fine. Brood War is essentially StarCraft 1, in inverted commas. A better time, or so they say online. Yeah, is it though? That's normally just people being dicks. I hate to tell you this. I trundle up the stairs and pass through the doorway, immediately struck by the size of the place. No way anyone is affording that much. Oh my god, hang on. I thought this was empty. Now I look at it, they've bothered to actually draw people on the seats. Wow, that is the first time a crowded room, like a room has been described as crowded, and it actually is crowded. Wow. Even if everyone does have brown hair, it is Korea, I guess. I trundle up... Yeah, there has to be at least 80 computers. The crowd is too large for an ordinary evening. There are more people here than PCs even. Alright, I'm not sure about that. I indulge my curiosity on the first person I see, a dark-haired guy observing a match of StarCraft 2 from behind someone's shoulder. Excuse me, is there an event going on? Yes, you can call me Raven. Jesus, look at him. The guy turns and looks at me like I'm speaking something other than Korean. After a brief silence, he responds, do you reckon they were trying to tell me that we were speaking in Korean? Are you new or something? Have you not heard about All Out Attack? If I had heard about All Out Attack, would I be sitting here asking you? Come on, be honest. Be honest here. Jesus. Yeah, I am new, just asking. He hums and glances away for a moment, though he doesn't apologise, he does fill me in. Golden Zone Fire hosts a StarCraft 2 tournament called All Out Attack once a month. It's one of the few places you'll find a decent player outside of the Online Cup or a Star League. Used to be a Broad War tournament, actually. I see, thank you. Are you here cheering for someone? He only stares in response. The guy walks away with the shake of his head, mumbling something about foreigners. Yeah, chances are he was competing and you're just a dick. Like, hate to break it to you, but I think you've just been a cock. The back of his shirt sports the Korean Pro Gamer Association logo. Maybe he's a Brood War fan or something. None of the StarCraft teams under the KPGA's regulations compete in anything except the original game Brood War. Understandably, they don't want to fracture a scene they've worked hard to build up. Yeah, something like that. And that's lucky for those of us trying to keep from drowning in a game that's already been deep with talent. KPGA players train for unbelievable hours. Yeah, I feel this is just sort of explaining it for the hell of it at this point. Well, I came here to practice and now I'm presented with an excellent chance to do so if what the guy said is true. Why would you question whether it was true or not? What would be the point in him lying to you? A few stares follow me as I walk forward to put my name on the sign-up list. I must look like a tourist in over my head. I'm definitely not the first foreigner to go abroad for esports, but most come to South Korea only once they have results or fame. After playing for an hour's worth of PC time at the front desk, I settle for a station that has a mouse and keyboard similar to my setup back home. After a few minutes I join my opponent's game lobby just in time for the start of the first round. His name isn't familiar, so I check his profile to see he's ranked midway through Master League. Not bad for a casual player. A casual player? You can fuck off. You don't get, like, oh yes, it's just he's in Masters League. Right, it goes bronze, silver, oh god, it's been a while, gold, platinum, diamond, masters, grandmasters. You don't get into Masters League by being a casual. Oh dear. He seems eager enough by the rate he's spamming go in the pre-game chat. The game gets underway once I confirm that I'm ready. As soon as the victory screen displays, anxiety floods out of my body. StarCraft is tense. It isn't an exaggeration to say that there's never a moment to relax until a match is over. Bristling with confidence, I get up to check my next opponent. And it's Excel. I'm so out of touch with the StarCraft, I don't even know who that is. I draw my lips in a line and let my shoulders slouch. Well, that's the end of this tournament run. Excel is one of South Korea's strongest Terran players. He's well known for his old school cred, balanced playing style and friendly banter. Banter? Really? South Koreans say the word banter? I think you might be lying. He lost in the round of 8 in last season's VSL, a respectable finish if not a high-paying one. From what I remember, Axel was a damn good Brood War player, but he was out of his prime when the sequel hit last year, so it makes sense that he switched. While I'm considering what sort of rush I should do to steal a win, I feel a tap on my shoulder in turn. Ha! So you are a foreigner. Hey! Stop being racist, and why does your hair look like it's hanging off your head?